Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news. What would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you? So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Brock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, this is Kimberly. It's episode 76, and I am so glad that you're here today because I'm going to stop you today and tell you to stop being scared of all these things as you start and build your business. I know a lot of you are scared of these things because I talk to you in one-on-one coaching. I talk to you in the Facebook group. I listen to business owners all the time, and I hear all these things that you're scared of, and I want to stop you because you need to stop it. You don't need to be scared. You need to be proactive, like I talked about last week. You need to be taking action because you too can make this happen. If you are new, welcome. I'm so glad that you have found this podcast because each week I'm going to provide you with tips and strategies and tools and fun and motivation for starting and building a business, doing what you love. So maybe you're in the idea stage. Maybe you're just starting, or maybe you're just trying to get this business off the ground, get it going, and start making money consistently. Well, I'm so glad you're here. 2 things you need to do really quick. The first one is subscribe to this podcast. Whether you're in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever player, make sure you hit subscribe. That way, you'll simply just get notified when I drop new episodes so you won't miss out on any content that can really help you as you're starting and building your business. And the second thing you need to do is scroll down right now in the show notes. I have links that will take you to free resources. I've got a 16-step handy checklist to help you as you start your business. And if you're in the idea stage, I've got what's called an Ikigai guide that will help you match up your passions and your skills with a viable business. So you can start with those, get going, and I'm so glad you're here. If you've been listening a while, y'all are amazing. I have the most loyal fans ever. Y'all are just awesome. I can't even tell you. And I'm going to read an awesome review from a listener. And this listener left a wonderful review, and I'm scared that I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Shaylin D. Is that right? Is it Shaylin? It's CHALYNN. Shaylin D. Here is what she said. I absolutely love this podcast. I just came across it a couple of weeks ago, and I've been listening to all the episodes every morning while I get ready. I just signed up for the Business Idea Workshop today, and I'm so excited to jump in. Thank you for the motivating, encouraging, positive push to help your listeners move forward towards their dreams. It's so awesome to hear the passion in your voice for the love of what you do, helping others. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Shaylin, for recognizing me for what I think is true. I do want to help you all. I want you to succeed. I don't want you to just start a business willy-nilly and just start selling and you don't even know what you're doing. I want to help you set yourself up for success so that you can enjoy doing this for years to come, have the same experience that I did. I'm 20 years in, 21 years in now, and I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So that's what I'm trying to help you do too. So that's it. Thank you all so much for listening. And thank you for these reviews. If you've never left one, you can just scroll down right now, hit 5 stars. It takes literally 1 second and it helps me so much. You can hit 5 stars. And if you have a minute to do what Shaylin did and write a quick review, y'all, it warms my heart.
so much. And it helps Apple and all the other players know that this is a valuable podcast. Okay, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy the episode. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. How are you, by the way? How is your business doing? Are you moving forward? Are things happening? Is it growing? Are you taking steps? I sure hope so. You have what it takes to make this happen. I'm telling you right now, you do. And I'm holding you accountable right now. This week, what are you doing that scares you? Do you hear my question? What are you doing this week that scares you? Because I know right now, if you do something that scares you, you will overcome it and you will make progress in your business. That's what I'm talking about today. Those things that scare you are things that can actually fuel you, and you need to stop letting those fears and the things that are scaring you stall you. You need to let them fuel you. My son has a book and it sits out and it says, do something every day that scares you. What if we all did that in our business? I can't even imagine what would happen if I did something that scared me every day. The funny thing is, I'm not really getting scared of things anymore. You know, when you first start and you don't have the confidence, you're scared. And you know this, right? That by taking action, you gain confidence. By taking action, you gain confidence. You don't just have confidence when you start this business. Do you know that? I don't think most people go into this going, this is going to be $1 million idea, or I'm going to make $10,000 a month in like no time. This is going to be amazing for sure. This is awesome. I can do anything and none of this is scary. I don't think that's true. I think almost everybody is scared of something. And I actually did an episode on this a while back about 3 big fears that I believe are actually myths as you're starting a business. So I'll put the link below so you can go back to that too. If you are into this topic, talking about fears and things that scare you, then maybe go listen to that too. I want today's episode to motivate you and help you see that you can overcome these things that scare you by taking action, okay? And I kind of want to squash some of these things that I'm seeing. And the reason that I'm doing this episode on this topic again is because I'm seeing it come up more and more. I see people who come in the Facebook group, right? My free Facebook group. And they're like, I've been scared for a while and I'm just now getting the courage to do this. People are scared and it's okay. It's a normal way of being as you're starting your business. I see people in my one-on-one coaching. They're like, I'm scared. I'm scared to do this. I'm scared to do that. I've had people in the Just Start series. I think it was Deborah that said she was scared to go live. People are scared. It's okay. There's steps that you're taking. They're scary. But what if you did something every day that scared you in your business? Soon you would run out of things to be scared of. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe we should do that. Like have like a 7-day scared challenge and just knock all this stuff out. So then we don't have to be scared anymore. I remember I used to be petrified of getting in a car wreck, y'all. I mean, petrified. I can't even tell you. And I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, Lexi, I don't even know if she knows this. Maybe she does. My husband and I both worked at Dell Computers, and we worked in 2 different buildings at the time when we lived in Austin, and we would each take our own car because we would go to lunch at different times and all that, right? We're in 2 different departments and all that good stuff. Well, one day I was like 8 months pregnant with her. And he was like, you want to ride together today? And I was like, okay. And I had this weird premonition as we pulled out of the driveway, like, what if we get in a car wreck today? Because we're both in the car. I'm about to have this baby. Y'all, we were going down the highway, flying to work, and another car in front of us cut off another car getting off the exit, spun around, hit the median, and then came back and hit our car. Luckily, it was just the side and the front, and I was okay. But after that, I realized that being in a car wreck is scary and terrible. And I know there's terrible car wrecks, but having even that kind of a wreck wasn't as bad as I thought. I wasn't hurt. So maybe that's why, but it actually helped my fears, right? And luckily we were okay. Thank you, Lord. We were fine. Everything was fine. And the car was dented up, but the other girl's insurance paid for it. Everything was fine. But once I got past that fear, like, I don't know how you get past the fear of being in a car wreck without being in a car wreck. I really have no idea. But here's the thing. I had put myself out there by being in an automobile with my husband when I was scared of it, knowing that there was risks. And yes, something happened that was out of my control, that was super scary, that I'd been scared of. And I realized it isn't always as bad as you think it is. Again, I am not minimizing car wrecks at all because I know that there are horrible ones every day. I'm just saying I had been scared even of fender benders, like terrified of that, and realized once it happened, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So it's kind of like that with your business in a little bit of a way, that you're putting yourself out there. You know the risks. Some things will happen that are out of your control, but most of the time they're not as bad as what you think. We have to be taking these steps to get past being scared. I mean, have you ever been scared to go on a roller coaster or scared to public speak or whatever it may be, right? Sometimes when you start doing it, you're like, wait, this really isn't that bad. Okay. So today I want to talk about these things that I'm seeing that are common through Facebook group, through one-on-one coaching in the Just Start Academy. I'm seeing these things that y'all are scared of, and I want to talk you through them today and make you realize that it's okay. As long as you start taking steps, you're going to gain confidence. You do not have confidence immediately on anything that you start that's new. I don't think most people do. I think some people, like my husband, sometimes he's like, oh, I can do that. He thinks he can do so many things. And he actually is good at a lot of stuff. But it's funny. He approaches things kind of with a little bit of a, I don't want to say an air, but a little bit, let's just say confidence that he can do anything. And it's kind of amazing to watch because actually he does do well. And sometimes he'll screw up and be like, oh, I need to do this better. I need to do that better. But he was never like, oh, I'm scared. I'm not going to try that. He was like, okay, I think I can do that. What if we did that? Come on now. We can. I know we can. Okay, let's go through these things that I'm seeing. Okay, I'm going to walk you through these. So the first one is, I think a lot of you are scared of failure. Are you? Are you scared of this business failing? Let me ask you this then. What are you risking right now that's so scary, right? Are you risking a ton of money, like a ton of money? I'm going to say probably a lot of you are not. Most people I've talked to in my coaching, in the Facebook group, y'all aren't risking a ton of money. So then my next question is, okay, then what is it you're scared of? You're scared of the embarrassment. Like if people see you fail. Are you scared that you will look stupid? What are you scared of? I don't know what you're scared of, but what are you scared of? Okay. One thing, luckily, when I started my business here and the other ones, I guess I wasn't really scared of much. I mean, I guess I'm scared that like maybe people wouldn't respond when I first started my podcast, that like I would just look stupid for some reason. I think I was scared of that, but I don't know. I just kept going. I don't find it too hard to keep going in situations like this when it's something I truly believe in. So do you truly believe in what you can do for people? Right? And again, it may just be something small, but do you believe in your product or service? If you don't, you need to go back to the drawing board. But if you do, then you need to sit up straight and say, okay, I don't need to be scared because I'm taking proper steps to make this happen because I know this product is good. I know I can make a difference for people, right? Again, you have to take steps to gain the confidence. So just know that by listening to this podcast, by doing the research that you're doing, by taking steps, you're going to get more confident. When you get more confident, this isn't going to be so scary. So it's okay if it seems scary right now. Probably means you haven't taken enough steps. You haven't taken enough action. Set your homework. Take action. If you're not in my Facebook group on Mondays, I hold you accountable because I ask you to post what's your imperfect action for the week. You have to be taking imperfect action. It cannot be, I mean, you can try to make it perfect. If you do, more power to you. But a lot of times we can't make progress in the beginning perfectly. We have to make it imperfectly. Okay. It's what's helped me be successful. I don't do anything absolutely perfect. I don't. I make mistakes all the time. What I'm doing is moving forward. I'm learning from those mistakes. I'm trying to get better. Right. And I just keep going and it's working. I mean, y'all think about this. With this podcast here, if I had been scared of failure and never done this podcast, you would have never heard me. And there's been people that have left so many awesome reviews, and it's so heartwarming that I stepped into courage for something that I knew that was scary, and I was putting myself out there to the world, to everyone that I know. Here's my knowledge about business. I'm putting it out there, and I risked that people would think that I look stupid. But I want you to just imagine if I hadn't done it. You wouldn't have gotten all the tips that you would have gotten to help you start your business. I wouldn't have been able to affect the people that I've been able to affect. The same goes for you. And y'all, I just have to tell you this. I'm so excited. And you know, I'm not like a person that likes to flex, as my son says. That means that's like the urban term for bragging. I don't like, this is not to flex, but I want it to prove to you that when you step into courage, things happen. So I started this podcast. I have never, when was that? A little over a year ago. Never had any kind of publicist, agent, nothing. I've just started it and it's caught on and it's been growing exponentially. And I found out the other day, if you saw it in the email, that this podcast is in the top 1.5% of podcasts, according to listennotes.com. Okay, I can't even believe it. I can't really wrap my head around it. Disclaimer though, as I put in the email too, is there's 2 million podcasts plus. When I started podcasting, there was only like 600,000 or 700,000. There's now 2 million podcasts. Okay, so I'm in the top, 20 to 30,000, which then when I do that, I'm like, well, that's not that high. But 1.5% is good, but I stepped into my yearning. What I knew I had a passion for. Are you doing that? Are you doing something that scares you every day? This thing is not going to fail. You're not going to fail anyone but yourself. You're not going to fail anyone but yourself if you don't take courageous steps and do it right. Don't do it stupidly. Don't do this impulsively. Don't build this business willy-nilly. Be smart about it. Create the foundations. That's why I have the Just Start Academy, because I know there's people like you that have a yearning and you just don't know how to piece all the foundations together so you can fly off and build this business. That's what I'm trying to help you do. Make sure, by the way, you look below because I've got a link to the academy and it's only going to be open for a few days and then it's going to be closed until the summertime. Okay? My point is, start taking action. You will start gaining confidence and then you won't have that fear anymore if this business is going to be successful or not. Okay? Because you can do it if you're building it right. The second thing that I see that people are scared of is that their product isn't going to sell or their competition's better, right? That their product just isn't good enough. And I get that. I think that's a valid concern. And product development is a big piece of your business. Now, if you're reselling other people's proven products, it's super easy. Like when I had my gift boutiques, the products were ready, done. I was like, these are amazing. I had no problem selling these products because I knew that they were amazing. If you've got a service-based business or you're making something now on your own, it's a little more cumbersome because you've got to get proof that this is desired and that it works and that people love it and they want to pay for it, right? You've got to do all that. That's part of starting the foundation of your business. You've got to validate that idea, make sure the product is worth it. Don't go spend thousands and thousands of dollars making a product that you don't even know if people really want it. You haven't had opinions given to you about your product. You should always be getting feedback. You should be giving it away free or discount or letting people try it, test it, whatever it is, so that you can get feedback and make sure it's the best. So then you know that your product is good. And once you know your product is good, you have confidence to move forward, right? And if you're worried about your competition, this is what I want to say to you. If you were entering a race, would you rather enter with 8 people around you or no one around you in your own lane? Well, people would say, well, it's not a race then if other people are not around. That's true, but just humor me here for a second. You would rather be in a lane of 1, right? You don't want to be crowded by 8 other people doing the exact same thing you are in your business. You want this to be a lane of 1. You want to make it different. I know all of us I want it to be better. I want to add more of this. I want to do more of this. And we do. We want to make it better. You want to make sure it's good, but you want it to have a little angle to it, right? You want it to be different because that's why people want to go to you. And I've talked about this in past episodes. You have to have an angle to be different. And when you know that you're different from your competition in a good way, and when you know that your product is proven, then you have the confidence and you don't have to be scared that your products aren't going to sell anymore, okay? So let's review these again. Number 1, you don't have to be scared this is going to be successful because you're going to take the right steps to create a solid foundation. Okay. Number 2, you don't have to be scared that your product isn't going to sell or it's going to not stack up next to the competition because you're going to be different, right? You're going to be in a lane of 1. The third thing that I see people like us and you being scared of, you're scared, are you ready for this? Of niching down. Everyone, listen to me right now. If you are speaking softly to the world instead of loudly to a small group, then you're missing the point. You need to be speaking loudly to a very small group of people because they will respond. This podcast and my business is a perfect example. I am targeting new business owners doing what they love. Okay. I could have targeted, and I attract women. So it's women. Okay. I do have men listeners on the podcast, but my clients, for the most part, have been women. Okay. So let's think about that. I could have helped people with all different kinds of things with their business. I could have done all kinds of aspects, from building it from the beginning all the way to having a business for 15 years and what to do to reinvigorate it. I could have done a whole bunch of different ways of approaching helping business owners in general. I narrowed it down to doing something that they love, because to me, that's why I like having a business. Okay. I'm not Elon Musk trying to change the world. I'm just trying to use the gifts that God has given me to make the world a better place in my little area. Right. And I think it's awesome to want to change the world. I'd love to change the world too, but I never felt called to do that. I felt called to live my best life running a business on my own and not having a boss and being able to have the flexibility and all that stuff, right? Same goes for you. There's some reason why you want to have a business. You want to create something special. You want to use your brain doing something that you feel really fulfilled in. You want to make a difference. You want to make money doing what you love, right? All these things, you have to niche down. When I'm helping people one-on-one, when I'm helping people even in the Facebook group, sometimes I will see that they're not niched down enough, right? You have to not just be a fitness instructor, for example. You have to niche down to a certain type of fitness. Are you doing HIIT training? Are you helping people with running plans? Like, don't just help anyone with any workout. It's not going to be effective in all your messaging and your marketing. You've got to narrow it down. And if you find yourself stuck with your niche, like you are really stuck, know that I have one-on-one coaching and I can help you. And we can literally just do a power hour or a couple to work through that. But you can post in the free Facebook group too, or you can even join the Just Start Academy to help you, because we will be covering that. And I will have a masterclass on niching down, because I think it's that important. So just realize, you have got to speak loudly to a small group. You cannot speak softly to the world. It will not be effective, and it will just become noise to people's ears, and it won't become the message that they need to hear. The reason why you follow this podcast and you follow some of my business stuff, or you joined my group, or you are getting in the Just Start Academy, is because something is resonating with you that is specific to you. That's how you have to speak to other people as well. Okay? So make sure you're not scared of niching down, because it's actually the ticket to your success. Okay. So let's review again. A lot of you are scared of failure, which you don't need to be, because if you're taking action, you'll gain the confidence. A lot of you are scared that your product isn't going to sell or your competition is going to be better, but you don't have to suffer that, because you can take action to verify and validate that your product is desired and effective and worthy, so that you have the confidence to present it to the world. And you don't have to be scared, because you'll start getting sales if it's working, right? And if you're different than your competition, people are going to love you. Okay. The third thing was, many of you are scared to niche down, and you overcome that by getting down to the group of people that you really are best suited to serve. You've got to narrow it down so that you speak loudly to them and not softly to the world. Okay. The fourth thing that I see a lot of you being scared of as you start, especially in the very beginning, is that you're scared of being alone. And you don't know who to turn to. You're not going to know how to get your questions answered. You're not going to know how to take next best steps. And I get that. It can be scary. The great news is we have Facebook groups right now, y'all. We have ways now to bring like-minded people together, people that are in the same stage of life, or in the same stage of, raising kids, or the same stage of business. That's what my Facebook group is for. Okay. And you may be in other Facebook groups as well. And that's awesome. You should. I don't want you ever to feel alone. If you never come in my group or pay me to be a part of a program, that's okay. Okay. I just want to know that you're taken care of, and you know that you don't have to be alone. There's no reason to just sit in a corner and try to build this on your own. There are so many resources online and YouTube and free things that you can research and get help with. You can talk to people but that I'm here to help you. Whether you want some one-on-one focused help where it's just you and I and we just knock stuff out over a few hours, or whether you'd like to be a part of my group program called the Just Start Academy. You've heard me talking about it. right? There are ways that you can get help and you can be around like-minded people so that you never feel alone. The worst thing you can do is just sit there and try to build this without utilizing your resources, reaching out to people, getting help, paying for help when you need to be helped. A lot of people are scared to pay for help. And sometimes you have to invest in yourself. I'm telling you, it's one of the best things I've ever done for me. When I started this business, I had a coach for 2 months for once a week, and it was expensive and it was amazing, right? And she whipped me into shape. It was like, you've got to niche down. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it changed the trajectory of my business in terms of the wording that I used, the people that I served, everything, right? Can be very effective. But again, there's free ways that you can get help for yourself. I don't want to see you flail. I don't want to see you start this and then just be like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to turn to. I've never been a business owner. I don't know a business owner. There's help. And I think you're already resourceful because you're here and you're listening and you're taking this in. So I have a feeling that you're the type, and I know many of you are, that you will reach out and ask for help when you need it. There's no sense in letting this just go by. You know, if you were in algebra class right now and you missed the whole first 6 weeks because you didn't ask for help, and then when you get to the second and third 6 weeks, it piles on and it's so hard and you don't understand it, and you're going to have to go back and get a tutor and get someone to help you to start at square one because you missed all of those foundational pieces. This is the same concept for you as you start your business. It's like if you took a Spanish class, right? If you miss the whole early stages, but you keep trying to learn advanced Spanish, you're going to get nowhere because you don't know the basics. Yes, you can pick up on some of the new stuff, but you have got to start with the foundation. So don't let yourself be a loner in this. You can't afford it. There's things that can go wrong in your business that can put you in the wrong direction, right? So get help, get feedback, talk to people, reach out for help, pay for help, get free help, whatever it is. I'm just telling you, don't sit here and take it alone. So I hope you all understand this, that on all four of these things, fear of not being successful, fear of your product not working, fear that you can't niche down, you don't know how to niche down, or fear that you are going to be alone, are all silly. And you don't have to be scared of those things, because by taking action, you gain confidence. And when you gain confidence, you're no longer scared. How awesome is that? You don't have to be scared, right? Okay, that's it. Y'all are amazing. Again, make sure you get in my free Facebook group. Link is below. Make sure you look right now into the Just Start Academy, because it's only opening for a few days. And once you get in, then I'm going to be having masterclasses once a month to help you. And you get to have a vote in what masterclasses come first and in what order. So it's really exciting because you get to be a part of making this program be the best it can be and be the most relevant for people like you by having a say in what is taught. I think it's really cool. So I'm super excited to have you in there, and I hope you'll join me. That is it. Y'all are amazing. Check out everything. The links are below, the show notes below, all that. And until next time, have a great day. Bye now.
Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com. And yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.